Hi, welcome back to the Tori Nook Talk Show, where real conversations meet real success. I'm Tori Nook. I'm the CEO and founder of Anchor Retail. I'm an entrepreneur, wife, and mother of three. In each episode, I feature leaders, entrepreneurs, and creators who've built their successful careers and lives with intention, intuition, and a strong sense of who they are. My goal is to learn how people create success on their own terms and to share those insights with all of you. So I hope you enjoy the show. Today, I have on Dr. Ardeshir Mehran. He is a psychologist, trauma therapist, and leader and team coach who is truly, in my opinion, disrupting how we all understand depression, anxiety, burnout, and emotional suffering. He holds a PhD and a master's in education from Columbia University, and he's spent more than 30 years working with individuals, leaders, and organizations at the intersection of psychology, embodiment, and inner truth. He's the author of You Are Not Depressed, You Are Unfinished, a very powerful reframe that challenges the idea that depression is a life sentence. And instead, it invites us to look at unfulfilled lives, unmet emotional needs, and the denial of inner knowing.
Yep.
He's also the creator of the Bill of Emotional Rights. He developed this through decades of research, coaching, and clinical practice, which restores people's rights to feel, have boundaries, to be respected, and live aligned with who they truly are. At the core of his work, he's very simple, but he has a very radical belief that the body holds the truth before the mind can explain it. And healing begins where we learn to listen inward again to our sensations, our intuition, and our own lived experience. So, welcome, Dr. Moran.
Great. Thank you so much, Tori. First of all, I'm so happy to be with you with your program and being of service to your listeners. And I appreciate your introduction. It was wonderful. And it helps all of us to hear how do other people see us. The truth is, I'm a very simple guy on a simple mission is that suffering, we take it seriously. We create industries, professions about trying to manage and heal sufferings. What I'm really, my work is that suffering is data. Suffering means that, dear friend, if you're listening to this, depressed, anxious, dealing with trauma, burnout, all it means you're in a wrong neighborhood. Get back home. Get back home. And instead of focusing on managing your struggle, your symptoms, those are not, if you're unhappy, it's not because we are depressed. We are unhappy, therefore we get depressed. We got the cause and effect all backwards.
Right.
That's all I'm focusing on. And I tell to anybody who wants to listen to this that healing is complex, is not complicated. We are designed to heal. We are designed to get punched in the face, get up and move on again. That's all I'm doing in this life for anybody who listens to.
Right. Well, I'd like to back up a little bit. Like, I met you through manuscripts,
Yeah.
and I heard you talk about your best-selling book, and I just found it really intriguing because there's so many people who are psychologists, and to me, I think a lot, just like any industry, they're not that profound and as deep into their research and what they're doing, whereas what you do and also the clientele you work with and where you've come from, to me, is very profound because I have always, even from a spiritual level, not just psychological, through my own personal experiences, that just like you said, I mean, it's, anxiety triggers depression. Each one's triggering the next thing, and you can heal it.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
that's what I love. And that's what I love that what your book is about. To say that you're, unfinished, you know,
Yeah.
you bring people and you bring a lot of white collar leaders and world leaders in very big international companies back to whole.
Yeah. That's right.
And what kind of people, like, can you paint a picture right now who you work with most today? Like, who's
Yeah.
walking into your office or calling you
Yeah.
today?
Thank you so much. That's a great point. There are two types of people call me, and either it's through referral or my book or my podcast, social media. One is people call me this and they say that I've been to therapists before, coaches before, I'm taking medication. And all I've learned is to tolerate with what I'm feeling, what is going on. But when I listen to you, you talk a different language. You talk language of hope that I can come back to me, which they say, I have no idea who that person is.
Mm-hmm.
And they are in pain, physical pain, spiritual pain, relational pain, and say that I'm just tired of being burdened and I want it free. The other group of people who call me are parents. This surprised me because I'm not a child psychologist, but parents call me and it's a call that breaks my heart and say that they talk about their teenagers, boy or girl, and saying that my wonderful Johnny or Susie is already on medication, already has multiple diagnoses for anorexia, for depression, for OCD. And I'm worrying about them. Do you have any other solutions? What I share with them, and this is very gentle and very come from the heart. It's not your children, dear parent who called me. It's your family. It's mom and dad. You called me, you're trying to outsource the healing of your children to me, to different practitioners. Children, nervous system, their psychology mirror the mom and dad's and relationships. And I tell them that during the holidays, you enter a house, you go for whether it's Thanksgiving for Christmas, in matter of seconds, you can tell if there's love in this household. Did mom and dad just fought? Is there tension here? Or there's a sense of honesty, sense of caring, sense of openness, and has nothing to do with wealth and
Right.
house to heal.
Right.
Children, if they are struggling, they are reflecting the family culture. Just like organization, families have culture too.
Yeah.
And then they say, so what do you do, Dr. Mehra? I say that the work starts with you and your spouse, with your partner.
Right.
You got that right. Your children, their anxiety, depression, OCD will level off. And I will
Right.
show you how to do that. But the work starts with the people who create the family culture. So those are the two groups that they call me.
That's very sage advice because I think, especially in American and westernized societies, but especially here, everyone wants to blame someone else. Everyone wants to find someone else to fix their spouse, their kids, they're this, they're that. Where at the end of the day, the only person you can change is starting with you, starting with love, starting with the positive. Like you even mentioned, as soon as you walk in a house or a business meeting, the vibe. If you're
That's
in
right.
touch with yourself, you feel it.
That's
You
right.
know if this is a dysfunctional office or home. I'm surprised people don't totally blow up when you tell them the truth.
No, actually, they do. There are people who get
Okay,
very
I
picky,
figured.
which says that this wasn't helpful. You don't have any medication, you don't have any therapy. And I tell them that's not where the work is. About 1/3 of people, they say, thank you, I'm going to go to the next psychologist.
Right.
So it breaks my heart. But there are other people who say that, yeah, can we talk more? Let me get my spouse. Let's have a different conversation. Before we send our kid to yet another
Mhm.
psychologist, let's my spouse and I have a conversation about what can we do to bring more love, bring more ease, bring more attention to the house. One of them, in fact, tomorrow, this coming Sunday, I'm writing a post, and Tori, I know you get it, is about,
Yeah, I love your newsletter. It's
thank
so
you.
good. And what I also want to mention to the guests is that you've been married for decades, have
Yes,
children. So this isn't someone who's talking who has no experience because he doesn't have kids or a marriage, right? You understand.
I struggle. And my son, I have a wonderful son, and God knows, every day I apologize to my son and to my wife. I say that what I did, that wasn't right.
Mhm.
Dad was impatient. Dad was doing social media. Can I
Right.
try again? Can I try again? The world and love and spirituality is not being perfect.
No.
It's about being truthful in the moment. And we mess up. I mess up a lot. Dr. Mehran mess up a lot. Own it, get up. And my wife says that, you apologize a lot and say that It doesn't matter who's right or wrong. You matter to me. My son, my golden retriever, it all, it just,
Line is we're all human and we're not perfect. And even you being a PhD master's degree, right? I
yeah,
mean, we're not. But the point is knowing, being more self aware. And I think, as we grow and mature and our brains mature more, we become more. I'm not what I was 20 years ago. I
that's,
mean, at all, and how
yeah,
I think. And I didn't even know what the word empathy meant at like
yeah,
20
yeah,
years ago,
that's
right?
right. That's right.
When you said that many highly functioning adults that you're seeing over decades, dealing with, I call it like the big three: anxiety, ADHD,
Depression.
depression.
Yeah.
Okay. And look, I work with many high functioning people that have had these over the past 2 decades I've been working, right? I see it all the time. And when you step back and look at like your decades worth of work, what pattern do you see the most in people? And even like, what is the mental health system, which I know is so broken here in our country, missing?
Yeah. 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 Thank you so much. So there are many professionals that they can benefit from a fuller conversation. So people, when they come to me, one of the things they appreciate, I don't go, and actually they tell me that, Ardeshir, Dr. Mehran, you don't use diagnosis. And I say, the moment we get diagnosis, we create a tunnel vision. Depression, anxiety, ADHD, typically they go hand in hand. There's a
Mhm.
pattern between them.
Yeah.
Individuals who experience them, they don't know it. And many times they don't want to know. So it looks like actually in the business world, professional world, they crush it.
Oh, yeah.
They are
Totally.
amazing successful. So what anxiety does, anxiety is about feeling you're longing for stability, control, and predictability. And you feel it in your gut, in your body. Your body's restless. So in the business world, when you have it, you're always looking, what else can happen? What am I looking for? What can go wrong? So these people always on the edge. They are very alert. ADHD, when it happens, you're looking for connection, for attachment, for relationship. You're looking for structure of human connection. The people who don't have it, they can become in short temper. They can snap at people. They can become very emotionally obtuse, almost, ignorant, like become abrasive. And so in the sales organization, they love them because they can charge and roll over people, but they get things done. Depression means you have numbed your feelings,
Mhm.
almost like you don't feel anymore. Your body is dormant. You don't know what love feels like. You don't know what joy. You don't know what it matters. So individuals who have that, they become a force of nature. They do great in job interview. They come across as very energetic. And
Mhm.
in the professional world, we love them. When they come to me, they don't know how to settle.
Okay.
They struggle with even 30 seconds of breathing because
Mm.
their body's revved up. I call them wired and tired.
Yeah.
They tell me one of their struggles is at 2 in the morning, they are wide awake, they're writing a PowerPoint. They don't want to have be intimate with the partners because they can't relax to see the partner. That's what a lot of individual porn happen or drinking happen. You just basically go, you learn about self-satisfaction versus partnership.
Right. And numb it out.
Not nominate exactly. And so it's addiction, so
Yeah.
people, addiction is substitution. They not in their bodies. They are not in the relationships. So
Right.
part of this work I do is helping them to, there's no shame or blame saying that, dear person, you're wired to be very successful and you already are in the world as you are, but you are not feeling it. Way they feel, whether man or woman, they get teary up and they get at time very feel hurt. Do you feel an emptiness? People talk about holding their heart, holding their soul. There is a longing they have and it just doesn't go away. No matter what vacation you get, what cars you have, what kind of gadget you get, there's an emptiness and they feel broken. And men and women are different at this point. When women talk about this, their story goes like this. I don't know what happened to that young girl who was ambitious, who was loving, who was curious, who was kind, and she became a force of nature to perform. And man is basically from inside out. And she says, I want to find me.
Yeah.
For men saying that I was raised to accomplish, get, do,
Right.
not feel anymore.
Yeah.
And I've done getting a lot of things out there. I want to come home. Woman from inside out, man from eyes outside in.
I like that you, as a psychologist, understand, and you're the only second one I've ever met that understands that correlation, heart and soul.
Yeah, yeah.
Because psychology and these three major issues we're talking about, that mental health issues, aren't all in the head. It's losing your, kind of losing your soul and numbing your
That's right.
heart out from
That's right.
the
That's right.
fact that your emotional, the anxiety first link is, as you said, your emotional needs weren't fully seen growing up.
That's right. That's
And
right.
that chain reaction starts with the ADHD, the agitation, and then the depression kicks in because your emotional needs like love, respect, being honored have gone totally unmet for
Exactly.
so long.
Exactly. For so long. And when people want to come home, they do always get overwhelmed. So, Ardeshir, I'm already busy professional,
Yeah.
parents, mortgage, travel. Where do I start? This sounds so daunting. And I tell them, no, it's not. The way it is, every moment. What we know from neurology, spirituality, life happens in every millisecond. This moment, right after our therapy session or after conversation, in the burst of 3 minutes, feel yourself being in fuller you, not the perfect you. Know your intentions, know the connection you're in, know what matters, and speak your truth. Just show up in 3 minutes burst. That's how we recreate a new beginning. Depression, in fact, my post on LinkedIn is that depression is invitation for a new beginning.
Yeah.
And we
I
can
like that.
start over and over and over. It's not an illness we can contain, we cannot contain. It will come back. You start a new beginning. And that new beginning leads to the next one. And before you know, there's a new you. And everyone says, what the heck happened to you? You're different. I like you. You're different.
Hmm. Yeah, because you're going from, with depression, you're reframing it from people think they're broken,
That's right.
like
That's right.
it's over, life's over. I'm not participating. Their heart can't handle getting hurt
Yeah.
one more time, right? And you're looking at changing to something meaningful. And I think just that title, like you're not depressed, you're
Yeah.
unfinished,
That's right.
brings hope to people,
Yeah.
right?
That's right.
And that, if they have the faith and the right mindset to go even take the first step, whether it's you or someone else that's very good at what they do, that they can overcome it. And it's even okay to cry too, while you're going through it, because I think so many people, because it's so old school what you were just talking about, like, and it's still happening today. I think people always think, oh, if you came from a physically abusive or sexually abusive household, like that's terrible, or
Yeah. Yeah.
mentally. But what people don't realize is the repercussions of emotional abuse is horrible on you and what you're talking about right now, your body. And we were just saying, like, anxiety starts in the gut.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, this is very important what you mentioned that th- many of us were hurt physically at very age, taken advantage, whether it was by punishment, like by poverty, foster homes, like sexual abuse. It breaks my heart to see how many individual men and women were sexually abused. There's another way of hurt, and that's neglect. That as children, we have needs that nobody saw you. Nobody held you when you were vulnerable, when you were crying, when you wanted just somebody to see you
Mhm.
and say, you're okay.
Yeah,
I'm here for you. Many people learn to tough it up and
that's right.
nobody was there and they learn and you can see it in their face, in how they purse their lips. You can even see it in grown-ups, the way they hold their lips and their jaw, their movement that how they're holding on to their emotion. So those emotions, they linger and body remembers, and that plays out again. So what's beautiful about body is it was programmed in a certain way, and it can be reprogrammed with the right. And the right approach has three components. One is that nobody heals by themselves. Healing is a contact sport.
Yes, and I'm glad you bring that up because a lot of people think they're above psychologists, counselors,
Or,
spiritual
or
healers.
spiritual healer, or a person that sees you. So you need somebody who's there, who you matter to them. They matter to you, number one. You have an opportunity to tell your story. For us to heal, we need to tell our story. Where did you come from? What happened to you? What it means to be Tori, what it means to be Ardeshir from your perspective. And that person needs to hear you in all entirety with all the adjective, verbs, or nouns you use. Many people are quick to give advice. Oh, it's going to be okay. Don't you worry. We all go through that. What people want is the witness for the times that nobody was there for them. They were hurt and lonely because really what they're talking to is you mirroring their own self, and there you bring them out of their loneliness. When we are emotionally hurt, deep down, we feel lonely, isolated. But a dear friend just hear you and says that, I'm so sorry what happened to you. It sucks. I'm so sorry. I'm here for you. You can come back. By doing that, the whole chain reaction in gut, in breathing, in heart, in soul starts. Allow me to say this, that the ultimate goal of healing is integration. Even the word
Mhm.
healing comes from Latin, means to be made whole.
Right.
So when we are not well, it means we are fragmented to depression and anxiety, gut check, leaky gut, the heart problem, and so on. When we tell our story in a space, our body is almost like amoeba start to come together again, and we feel wholeness. That's what
Right.
our healing is really all about.
100%. And I like that you touched on the fact that, I mean, because look at how, I mean, especially America, we're like a chronic illness nation because everyone just wants to put band-aids with antidepressants, depression. Those don't do anything. They just really
Don't.
numb you out so you don't
That's,
do anything too crazy, right? But
that's right.
we're never doing preventative medicine here like other countries like Germany and around the world. And I like the fact that you touched on the body holds the truth
That's right.
before the mind can even name it.
That's right. That's right.
And if you have what you just mentioned, leaky gut, I'm sure we could keep going on, inflammation,
Uh-huh.
etc. I mean, this is going back to what is unhealed, what is not whole
That's right.
inside of you. Because they always say that your body is the last to tell you. Usually that's the only way you're going to listen.
That's right. That's right. This is so important, Tori, what you mentioned, that the way our neurology happens, somehow I don't think just Western world, is the over reliance on brain, because this is where what
Right.
brain really does is process information, structure, categorize, make sense of what is going on,
Hmm.
and associate certain experiences with words. Brain does not feel anything. Feelings are not in the brain. Body, that's the feelings are there in body. And what body does, body senses in terms of hot, cold, getting anxious, getting calmer, expands, like suddenly feel versus collapse. And the tingling, tension, the expansion or contraction. So feelings come from body. What we also know from neurology, we have so much more feelings that we have words for it. And the super hobby of the brain, from brain to body and back, it's 80% from body, from gut, all the way from legs, muscle going to brain, 20% coming up. So at any moment, we feel a lot more than we can be aware of. So a practical thing that if you see friend in distress, what is not that helpful is saying that, how are you feeling? Or
Right.
even like, name your feelings. This is very common. Name
Well,
your
that was the
feelings.
first thing you told me when I interviewed you for my book. I mean,
Yes,
is you said never ask people how they feel, which is the first thing people do. I mean, I do it all the
exactly.
time. Like, how are you feeling?
I do it all the time. That's right. Because the moment you do that, you give a label to what you're experiencing, but there's a lot more happening.
Right.
You can be naming it, but you don't feel any different. So a other way to saying that, so to say, how are you feeling? That's a good way to start. The next thing is saying that, what is your body telling you?
Right.
What is coming up for you? And people say, what the heck are you talking about?
Right. I'm sure.
You can say head to toe, like what are you sensing in your body? Is your body feeling calm? Is it anxious? Is it nervous? People say, well, what does it mean? And you can literally say, so Dr. Mehran said that our gut, our stomach, belly area, it's where we feel the anxiety. Heart and chest, this is where we feel the anger, sense of what we want to do something, take over the world, or just move or run away from something. And by sharing that, that helps a conversation. And then you follow up saying that your body, does it feel calm right now? Does it feel anxious? Does it feel restless? Does it feel hopeful? What are you doing? By sheer fact, asking that question, people become aware. And you will literally see conversation slows down, become more reflective and also enjoyable. Because, you know what? Now I see my shoulders hurt. I feel tingling, shooting pain going down my neck. So that's all it takes. Body's distressed.
Well, you asking that question, what they're sensing in their body, goes back to the fact that what we were talking about, so many people, especially who experience trauma, they're
Yeah,
like out of body.
that's right. Absolutely.
People could think that that's woo woo to say this, but it's 100% true. Whether I'm talking to you as a psychologist or I'm talking to a shaman or master healer,
Yeah,
right? It's very true. And once you ask them, then they're jolted back in here to be like, yeah, I do hurt here.
that's right. That's
I
right.
do have pains in my back or
You
my stomach.
disassociate. You
Right.
disassociate. When life gets become difficult, we dissociate. It's a survival.
Yeah, you're forcing people to get grounded in
That exactly.
themselves when they're
That's
talking
what it
to
is.
you.
That's what it is. Another way your colleagues, as if your friend distressed, body reads body. So if your friend distressed, instead of going says, "Hey Tori, how are you doing?" A better way to do for you as a listener, do some deep breathing, calm your body. Their body picks up your body,
Mm,
and your calmness spreads. In fact, there's research, calmness, literally body can read across body up to 12 feet. What I've learned, actually, you can do it in Zoom. Like many of my clients, they are outside the United States, that when you're calm, through your facial, your body expression, your breathing, people pick it up. They get calmer. And then you're doing, when you go like, biking, the biker go behind the one in front. So basically you helping somebody to ground themselves by you grounding yourself.
it's no
Another way,
different with animals too. They feel and sense
and
you
another to do that,
immediately.
and almost another way to do that, if it's appropriate, sometimes it's not, a gentle touch of hand on the shoulder, on the arm, because some people don't want to be touched. We need to
Right,
respect that.
right.
Just gentle doing that, you help them ground, help calm down. And then you can have a conversation. Hey, what's going on? What can be helpful? What can I do as a way to be of help to you?
Yeah. You've been very outspoken about modern education and that it overdevelops logic,
Yeah,
it underdevelops the body, emotion, and intuition, which are all extremely important things to become more of a whole person, right? What do you believe like we lose when we teach people to just trust their logic and their words in society's rules more than their own lived and embodied experience?
yeah, yeah. That's a great point. So I do work with the school administrations, do sessions for school about with teachers and parents about how do you help bring more next generation of mental health instead of going to psychologists. as part of school practice or in families. So one of the things I tell them, there are a lot of students in the even like from the primary school to middle school and high school, they're fidgety in the class. The combination of anxiety and the ADHD. The approach from teachers is just pay attention and just be like basically calm down. Another approach is allow people to stand up. When you stand up, you can go in the corner of the classroom, bring your notebook, and or there are some desks, more and more schools have them that you can raise the table in the top, so this will allow people to stand up, because once you do that, people embody themselves. When we have a lot of energy by sitting, that our mind literally goes to what I call, it's not my word, it's called monkey brain.
Okay. Yeah.
Brain goes into a loop.
Right. Yeah.
Just, thinking, social media, what's going on, because there's too much energy. Energy comes from the body. It's not in the brain. By you standing up, allowing people just move their body, swaying back and forth, you allow people to feel calmer. And here's the interesting part, they think better. So
Okay.
studies done that in classroom and in the business world, that when you do brainstorming or problem solving, if you allow people to stand up versus to sit around the conference table, quality and quantity of decision making and input are much better. So in classroom, allow people to share fully. Like one of the things that there are schools, I've seen them, there are proper schools that they teach you how to use your words, put your hand down on your lap and just be a talking head. Kids don't grow up like that.
No.
Children who raise them, they're like a bumblebee. Everything you bring up,
Right.
we from early age, when the language is developed, we tell people don't use your body, put your hand down, choose your words, and be very logical speaking. That's not how body is designed.
No.
How our neurology, physiology design. So allowing people to express themselves in a way, the full body expression in appropriate ways.
And this is why people are starving to feel. And it seems to me like majority people are starving to feel. I mean, just their behaviors with the over scrolling on their phones, infidelity, compulsive stimulation, right? It's not really, and you and I talked about this before, like it's not even about pleasure. I mean, that's why, like even you said, you're like most people have affairs. They're just starving to be seen and held, period, by
They're
anybody.
starved. They're
Like
starved. And
um
affairs bring them out of numbness. People
right,
who are they have affairs, they're emotionally numb.
right,
And they're craving a way to feel again. Their
right.
body, to the eye contact, to feel again. And addiction and modern day of addiction is all way of burst of feeling. You see something, oh, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. But we're all starving for emotions, for connection, be seen, to be and see and feel again.
Long when you work with people to connect with their body and to feel again. And you have a serious client that really wants to break free of the hell that they've been living in, no matter what. I mean, how long do you really see that shift take in an average person you work with?
Actually, it's not long. So this is a part that I tell my clients and is on my website too. I don't believe in long-term therapy. So I've been a therapist myself. I've gone
Mm,
to therapists, psychiatrists myself. It's almost you go for weeks and months and hoping
years,
something get better.
right?
And what I learned, and I write about it, all they were doing, helping me to manage my symptoms. They were not going to the root cause, helping integration.
Hmm.
So
Right.
what clients contract with me is for 5 session engagements.
Hmm.
And then sometimes can be to another 5, maybe go to 15 sessions. But most people, almost 60% in 5 sessions are good to go. The very first session is about knowing your body, where feeling is in your body, when it's not, and basically befriending yourself. And what it looks like, there are simple breathing exercises, sensing exercises, and just noticing.
Yeah.
There's a power in noticing. Notice, how is your chest feeling? How is your jaw? So there are centers of where we hold tension. One is around, starting from belly part. If it's very tight, it means this person is anxious. Could have holding on to trauma
Hmm.
or unresolved anger. Anger
Right.
is a powerful liberating.
Huge. Yeah.
Then coming to chest, does the chest feel collapse? Is your heart racing, breathing? And it just allowing to breathe a bit and dropping the next thing going to your shoulders. Many people, their body's like an armor. If you can see me, they're holding it tight.
Right. Yeah.
That's where
They're
the
wound
shoulder.
up.
Yeah, exactly. And there are many people feel the tension right between the neck and the shoulder blade because their body's like that. So what we do is gentle breathing and allow the body expand, and you drop your body. So you allow your spine to expand and just feel settled.
Yeah.
Many people, based upon where they are, and I invite them, you don't have to sit speaking with me. Feel free if you want to pace, you want to walk. Some people start to do, if they know yoga, do downward dog, they roll on the floor as a way to get their body moving. So the very
Yeah.
session is allowing body to come from wound up to expand, because once you do that, you start to feel again. You see avalanche of feeling, because when your body goes like this and you start to open up, you see emotions come up, you see tears come up. People say, I have no idea why I'm crying, but it just feels good. I just
Right.
feel,
Right.
and I notice the tightness. Can you speak? Or versus a lot of professional, they talk in a very raspy voice, allowing the energy come up. So the very first session is allowing reconstruct your body so you are not wound up, to build it up more expanded. The next several session is emotions, memories, things you held back, things you didn't say you should have said, things that happened to you that shouldn't have happened. Is there's a period of grieving, period of sorrow. What do I do with memories that still hurt? Love that I never got, or love that I thought it was lovely, but it was just awful.
Right.
Coming to terms about life as it is right now. And the session going to three or four and to five is about how do you reconstruct you as you are
Hmm.
with the reality, with constraints and obligations. So it's a better you in a small doses.
Right.
Once
What's
you do that, go ahead.
Oh yeah, because what I like is you're allowing people that they can't use their monkey brain to be in loops anymore, thinking they're going to think their way out or stay trapped in that monkey
That's right.
brain.
That's right.
You're facing them
The
to go
wholeness.
inward, to
Yeah,
own themselves,
that's right.
listen to their inner intuition, listen to their energy, to get even their nervous system,
Yeah,
collected. I was wondering too, like, how do you, because after those 5 sessions,
yeah,
how are you getting them to distinguish? Because this is kind of the next step once you're back in here.
yeah.
What is theirs, right? And what they're absorbing from other people or their environment, especially work, family systems,
That's right.
leadership.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
This is good. So part of the reason we get in a lockdown environment,
Mhm.
we are in relationships, in jobs, or family environments that they are not good for us. There's a term I heard years and years ago: you cannot be a prophet in your land. So what people realize, they have a boundary issue. And as a boundary, it means almost like literally you have a house and your door, front door, back door, porch door is open. People come and go and do whatever they want. What people learn to do is the power of yes, no, maybe. And they become in the almost, you get to own your house. So they have had number of clients. They said, you know what? My spouse and I, or my partner and I, this is not working. We need to have a different relationship, different conversation. In a couple of cases, they were women. They said, I'm done trying to help my partner. I'm going to go find the right man for me. So they gradually shift their relationship to go find the love that I've been waiting for. It didn't come. People say that my mom and I, every time I go home, I just get clobbered. I just feel small. Say that I'm not going to go home for this holiday. I just need a break till I find myself. So people will go through gradually reconstructing a new reality around themselves. Number of clients says, you know what? I should have been vice president by now. This is not working here. I'm going to gradually find a better job for me, a different manager. Or I help them about how do you actually create better leadership skills so you can get promoted. So what people learn, part of the healing is you reconstruct supportive environment that you're right for you because you're at a different stage.
It takes a strong person because, I mean, even culturally, there are so many, probably almost all of them across the board, where there's some serious controlling
Yeah,
families.
that's right. Oh yeah,
It's probably very hard for people to break away unless they really move far away from
that's
them.
right. That's right. That's right. And then people saying that it's sense about what people in those times they learned and I share help them to understand the whole aspects of family trauma and how it gets passed
Mhm.
generation to generation, that people who break it, the
Right.
cycle breakers,
Yeah.
family hate them.
Oh, yeah.
Family hate them because suddenly
They
people
will.
realize Susie or Johnny, they are not playing with the same game. They don't like to be called names anymore. So by you changing yourself, you create a different vibe, different pattern, which could be better for your own children. Fixing your parents, fixing your siblings,
It's
they
not
are
gonna
not your
happen.
responsibility.
Right.
It's not your responsibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Help yourself and help your offspring. That's all you can do.
Right, because then once you're in that better vibe and you set those hard boundaries, and look, you may never talk to your mom or dad or whomever again or a sibling. And I think people, we've got to take that labeling them thinking that's terrible. Well, it's not. I mean, it really is your life. And you start attracting people who are in your energy field now. And then
Absolutely.
you have happier and better
Yes,
relationships.
that's right. Absolutely.
And
And
then
you
you
know
do get
it.
that job promotion, and
I,
things
I,
just start the synchronicities just start happening, right? You almost think it's like a
yes,
miracle.
yes, yes. And then what you see, there's a pattern. When you're in a relationship that is family, is controlling,
Yeah.
you learn to be subjugated, victimized, and put down. Then
Oh,
you
yeah.
work for a manager who creates the same role for you. When you're
Yep.
different,
Yeah.
when you stand up, when you're more freer to share, to talk, to push back, to listen better, your vibe at work changes. People like you more. People want to work with you more.
Right. Because you and I talked about that too, like in the entrepreneurial corporate world, fear is everywhere, no matter if it's at work or
Yeah.
not, right? Fear of losing status, money, their security. And I mean, how do you help people really dig deep down to really understand the difference between responsibility and self-betrayal when they feel trapped by these golden handcuffs?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Great point that we all have responsibility. And a lot of time we need to work with what environment we're given.
Mhm.
The difference is that you are aware of that. I'm tolerating this situation. I'm accepting this manager because I cannot get a better job. I have responsibilities. It's not a good time to change job right now, especially in this current economy. But I'm not losing myself. I'm not losing my dignity. I don't let this person and all the name I'm calling him or her to dominate me. I will be me. I'm in my own skin, in my own truth, in my own values. Once you're grounded in your values, what matters,
Mhm.
you can
100%.
handle anything. Say that,
Mhm.
yes, but doesn't mean I agree with that. So staying with that versus saying that I do whatever you want. You may still do that, but it's a compromise you make, which we all do in life to do what it's supposed to do. We all part of a team, everybody compromises. but you stay in your value, in your dignity and your self-respect.
Right. Right. Well, even what you just said, even with bosses, like people, even going back to relationships, they'll keep remarrying the same person until they learn to get it right inside themselves, get
That's
themselves right. Because they keep
that's right.
attracting the same boss, the same spouse over, same friends over and over and over again.
Exactly.
For the people who are listening, how would you tell them to really it's because so many people are anxious, they're exhausted, they're totally unhappy inside. What's the first honest conversation they need to have with themselves to truly become whole
Yeah.
again?
Okay, good.
Because some
Several
people
things.
don't want to get help, but I know that they can at least a little bit help themselves, right?
Good, good. Part of that is the language or semantics.
Hmm.
The way psychology, the mental health field, they love diagnosis. You are depressed.
Yeah,
You're
they love
anxious.
it.
They
Yeah,
love it.
yeah,
And then you need proper treatment, medication. It may take some time, but go through that. Another way, dear listeners, if you're feeling anxious, ADHD, obsessive compulsive, a way to think about it, that your system, all of those are adaptive responses. Adaptive. People may talk about genetic. No, it's not genetic. These are all adaptive. We learn in certain way to cope with the environment that wasn't right for us, that overwhelmed our system, our neurology, our psychology. So we had to adapt by numbing ourselves. That's depression. We needed to continuously look for connection, for stability. That's ADHD. We needed to find a way to get some level of comfort and predictability. That's anxiety. So know if you're feeling any of those or others, you are trying to cope. You're trying to survive. If you're a human being, we are messy human beings. Human beings forever, always trying to survive, to get by, to figure things out. So go from labels to figure out what am I doing to survive? What am
yes,
I getting, not getting that they're good for me to get by? The question you want to be asking, my friend, is about what do I need? Not versus what's wrong with it, what kind of therapist I need.
right.
What do I need for me to be a vibrant, fully alive, spiritual, grounded, self-respecting human being? What do I need? And in that question, you may learn, you may need a lot of things, which we all do. Then the next question you want to ask, what do I need today, this holiday season, this January, that gives me a little lift, a
Yeah,
little hope? Focus on hope. Focus on joy. When you have answer about what do I need and your heart feels, gosh, this feels good, follow the energy. Healing, don't follow the logic, follow the energy. What
right.
lifts you up? This
Like,
was good. It means your body opens up energy that comes from your gut, from your inner core. Say, darn it, that was good. It's almost like a chocolate for soul.
yeah. I
Follow
had a
it.
healer who told me, put your hand in your heart and say, "What would I love?" It's
That's what
very
you
similar to what you
love.
just said. What would I need?
Yeah.
That's how you're going to get emotional freedom. That's how you're tapping into your intuition, getting away from the logic.
Yeah.
That's how
That's it.
you're going to heal yourself because, you
Yeah.
know, I'm sure there's a lot of things you wish people knew earlier in their life, but there's so
Yep.
much we
Yep.
can't control.
And here's a part, that we do during the holidays, that game. You hide something and said hot, 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 cold, 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 like you go
Yeah,
to find something. I forget what the game name is. That things that warms you up, that make you respect yourself more, to love yourself more, to have sense of, I'm good. I'm good. Follow that. And anything that feels you, I'm numbing myself. I'm tolerating this. My body's tightening up. I feel my breaths and then my chest getting tighter. That means you are going to numbing, to denying yourself. Go to where the light is, to where energy is. Those are the ways that you can start to bring more energy, some focus to yourself.
yeah, and wholeness.
The
Yeah.
wholeness. That's right.
Well, I really want to thank you so much for joining me today. It really is an honor. And you just have such depth, honesty, clarity, and just amazing vision with what you're doing. I think it's truly outstanding. And what really has stood out to me is that so many people, like I've always said this, I don't think they're broken. My mom and my grandma were school teachers. They'd say these kids aren't broken, right?
Yeah.
It's just what they're coming out of.
Yeah, that's right. That's
And
right.
they're disconnected, but that disconnection from their bodies, their emotions, or their intuition and the right to be seen, and respected. That healing, doesn't come from pushing harder, but from listening more deeply. And I love how you show your clients in 5 sessions how to do this. Cause so many people, I know many people that are trapped wasting time going to like a talk psychologist for years, going literally nowhere. It's depressing to even talk about. And what I think is so important about, our conversation is that this is just a really important reminder that resilience is not about grinding, putting the band-aid on, just to get you through life. It's about learning how to come truly back to yourself, the person that drifted away far, over there. It's having the hope and the faith to get, to whole. And, I really encourage anyone who's listening to explore your work, Dr. Moran's work, much further. He's in Northern California, outside San Francisco. He comes to Cleveland sometimes because
I
I know
do.
his
My
family.
relatives live there,
Yeah.
and I'm a fan of the Skyline Chili.
I recommend following him on LinkedIn and going to his website at ardeshirmehran.com. It's your name and last name. And to buy his book, You're Not Depressed, You Are Unfinished, which is available right now. And to also get his newsletter weekly. It's quick. It's not a long read, but it has like such great punch list items that are extremely helpful. And I'd like you to tell everyone else how else to find you on your social
Thank you.
links.
Thank you. And then this Saturday, I will be writing a topic that the time has come to write about it. The topic is about, the title of that is I Choose You. I will talk about the human experience that in somebody's eyes, or it's about you, that you show that that person, they are seen, they are valued, they are invited, they are at the table, and they feel it. There's a
Yeah.
sense of I choose you. We do it often with our children, but as we grow
Yeah.
up, we stop doing that. And
Right.
everybody, what I see across all my clients, gender, different cultures, wealth, status, people are hungry that somebody choose me as I am, besides all my exterior. So it's about that. And it's actually, I'm writing as a poem in a Dr. Seuss style. So it's a poem. And it's about how do we choose somebody, including ourselves. And that goes out this weekend.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, so if you go on my website, you can add your contact information. And once a week, I write about that. And then starting January, I will write more about what are the patterns of behaviors. Because depression, people who've been in therapy, they know it's almost like a crazy glue. It's hard to dislodge. So I'll be talking about, because we are not solving the right thing. So I'll be talking about their patterns. We need to go there. So to back to, you need to go to the base. So I'll be talking about different ways of freeing and dislodging.
Nice. But your biggest social channel's LinkedIn, right?
LinkedIn, and in starting January will be YouTube.
Oh,
So it
nice.
will be more, yeah. But LinkedIn at this point, reach out to me, befriend me, and but yes, LinkedIn is the one.
I really want to thank everyone for listening to another episode of the Tori Nook Show. And if this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone that you care about. Leave a review, and you could catch any of the new episodes across all podcast platforms and my YouTube channel at Tori Nook. And if you enjoyed this, please hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Please leave me a comment, tell me how this resonated, and see you next time.